you need to make a time scale, don't you?
Do our task.
All right, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
so that's all in place?
Well, the task is we've got to go around the track and pick up tins.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you've got a design stage, you've got, move it, so you need a timetable.
Yeah, wonderful. That's why you're here, you see, to these kind of things. So what would you suggest then?
Well, I think primarily you need to decide in 6 months' worth of time what time slots you're going to allow per task. So say, for example, your first one, design, brainstorming, you need to get that thrashed out quite quickly, don't you?
Well, that was the plan to get,
The one thing you can't do, because we haven't got the stuff being sent to us from the peoples down in Southampton until, when did they say, October, was it? Sometime October, which it could only be 2 weeks away, but it could be longer than that, so we're restricting what we can actually do with stuff until we actually get the
but we want to get some
mechanics of stuff.
Surprise, isn't it?
Yeah. At this rate, it's probably like a box of Jeff.
You've got to program it though to make it move. It's got to do it by itself.
If you've got something that actually will move, then
you
don't have to make it. You don't have to make it.
As long as something's moving.
I think to make it move forwards not very hard in the code.
It's just making it turning and
to make it follow a blue line
and seeing things really.
It doesn't have to be the actual robot itself, because they can go about prototyping all the time. So it can be anything that moves as long as it's a robot style type thing.
And the coding we're speaking about, does anybody know what that coding is going to be? What form? Right.
Do you know Python?
No idea.
It's not hard to pick up.
No.
That's why you'll be doing it.
Well, that leads on to a great point in as far as you need to identify the skills within your teams. So identify your roles. If you're your programmer man, then ideally suited. But you need to...
But not working individually, that's what we're saying.
That's right,
Well, that's what Stacey's there for as well.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Stacey couldn't come on Saturday, but...
Some nice regular team meetings.
But I think you also need to put milestones in what you do. Because before you know where you are, you'll have 1 month left and you still haven't done anything. But it also, with milestones in, you can then look back and go back to Southampton University and say, we need this detail, we need your board. Because we've done a few projects and you end up like a week before and...
Yeah, did that last year, didn't we, Cody?
So we've got £71, £70, haven't we? I'm just saying, it's like, okay, we want to trial the different types of wheel. Now, at the moment, you have some wheels we could use, which we could perhaps start for the wheel thing, because I just don't want to spend money.
But what you've got to think about as well is, obviously, we saw the size of the ramp and stuff, but we don't know how big the track is. You don't want to get wheels that are this big and suddenly find out that you're not going to be able to fit it actually onto the track. So you need to think about, I guess, the dimensions, what you're going to be doing, the basics. Because Sean, we didn't actually say, we were going to tell you, we forgot when we got to the services, Sean came up with a clever idea. It's all about the sensors to do with red light, reds and greens. If there's anything to stop us putting LEDs on the back of ours that are green and blue, so when the robots are following, they see this blue light and they start following it and doing stuff. Is that cheating?
I think that is cheating because
that's intentionally interfering quite clearly.
We might as well just set...
Actually, I like that idea, I like this guy's thinking.
That's a good idea, but I think what would be more effective is if it could just lay landmines.
I think I've read something in here that you can't do.
I know it's going to be green, but if we could put some lights or something that flashes,
it does say you can put lights
confuse them.
But the trouble is there...
We're not intentionally damaging it, and that's all it says you can't do.
They'll just get lost a little bit.
Yeah, we are intentionally confusing.
They just fell on while we were building it.
The wiring just happened.
Robots that have not passed inspection will not be permitted to complete. So basically, they're not going to stand for a little bit of room.
Always put gaffer tape over it.
What was it, James Bondy, wasn't it?
The problem is, we'll spend all that time doing that and it just won't move. Everything will just crash into the back of it.
Spend forever trying to trick other robots. What's that? I can't move.
So he's right, we need to think about roles and stuff like that, which I think you've discussed a bit.
Yeah.
We need to make sure we're still working together, aren't we? Otherwise, like you said, it's all kind of juggling the robot, but it doesn't actually move, then it's not useful.
So, we've already identified we're going to trial at least 2, tracked and wheel driven.
And wheel with front wheels turning.
Yeah.
Because we have 2 months.
It's if you think you can
But you can
build it.
Motors to the motor
No, you can't. It's, they think they can program it.
Briefly, just now.
Brilliant. Right, do we know?
It'd be easy to program.
We've got a £70 budget,
Yeah.
but if we wanted to, I'm not saying we do obviously, if we spent £1,000, we could claim £70 back, but the other 930 is spent. So we can actually get, if you, presumably, for example, if you've got anything, or we've got some, because we were saying about the TC will give us stuff.
Yeah.
If we've got
United
some,
has brought stuff to me.
oh, brilliant. So if we've got our own stuff, presumably we can use that as well as whatever we
Oh yeah,
pay
absolutely.
for, get the £70 back. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's nothing to stop us, because you were saying, did I hear you saying you wanted 7 motors? Was that the idea?
We're doing quite a lot.
So if we can get 6 other motors, so how many we got? 2. So get another 5 motors,
Well, Steve's
Plus
got
make steal or borrow from people. We can get
There's no doubt
motherboards and
that the
things.
motors
from-
will be driven through your software.
Yes.
Yeah. You need a motor
But
board for
it's-
each motor.
It's the
and I've
motherboard.
got 2 motorboards.
The codes on the codes on like a motherboard, which then tells the motorboards how to run the motors.
Right.
But you also don't have run before you
Probably
board.
listen to
Yeah.
it.
So much
So we
stuff.
start off with like 2 wheels, make sure they
Yeah,
work, and then
we're
gradually
actually
add
doing
more.
that.
And you're obviously going to be coding in for the recognition software.
Yeah, to get a camera.
It's got a webcam.
Yes, that comes with a program. We just have to link that within the Python code, I think.
Because
Yeah, they said it detected it.
It detected it already, but we just have to write it.
You have to tell it what to do when it's detected things.
So
don't
like,
you?
they're talking to each other. They've
Yeah.
sorted out for us. We've just got to get them to use that information.
see, one of the things the track is marked out with
Yeah.
spacing. So from you know then how fast you're going, whereabouts you are. So you're basically using fully closed loop feedback. So going back to your original statement about if we use tracks and it'll be doing this all the time. Well, if you know where you're going and how fast you're going, you can, through coding, eliminate different speeds of
Are we
motors.
thinking that the code's going to tell it to go around the track, or are we saying to the code, follow the blue dots?
No,
Is it
I
the
think...
blue
Does it'd have to follow the blue dots because that's the only thing it'll recognise?
Well, yes, because when you come to the ramp area, it's got one solid line across
Yeah,
it.
so it detects the line, then turns left or right.
But they did
whichever
say
way
you
it
could
is.
have something
Need
that
angles
detects
and
where
stuff,
there's
don't
no
you, to
wall
know
next to
that.
it. So when you get to there, suddenly
But
there's
the
a gap.
webcam doesn't detect white,
No.
so it wouldn't work.
You could have some kind of laser
The
device.
webcam-
Do we have to
no.
work out
It
the
doesn't
maths
detect
of how
why.
much one motor needs to go
So
more than the
therefore,
other to
use
turn
module. If you
by
don't
that angle to
detect
get it onto
Yeah,
the
so
ramp?
what they were using was like a
50 mil
percentage
spacer
idea,
in the
wasn't
next
it?
50
Yeah.
mil,
Full
it
price
must be on the
100
entrance to the ramp.
compared to
So
80.
much.
So where
So
you have
you're
to work
looking
that
at
out?
knowledge.
then?
It's logic, but in the inverted sense.
Right.
And that's where your coding becomes very important. Because if you've got track wheel spin or anything like that, these fixed markers won't move. So you could have a wheel spin going up your ramp, but you keep driving until you see your next marker. That's where the recognition software
Right.
and the camera comes so important.
Right.
Because if you hit another robot and you become trackless and you've no motion, it's pointless, continuing driving
It's
your
like when they
wheels.
did that, those 2 kids, weren't they, when they're bumping into each other,
Yeah.
they sort of simulated them walking around.
So we need to, within the code, the robots are green so they can see each other.
Yeah, so if you recognise green in front of you, you then want to stop or steer around it.
Right.
There's another variable you've got to think
Another
about.
But I think there won't really be enough room to steer around it, so it'll be
Well,
just...
the track's a metre
Is it?
wide and the robots are...
It's 2
2
meters
metres
around
wide.
the edge, but
Yeah.
the ramp
We'll get some more as the
Right, okay.
Your robot's 500 wide, is it not?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Is
So
there,
there's a chance
is there an
to...
actual restriction to how big you can make your own?
I believe so, yeah.
Just
some
camp it.
dimensions. Yeah.
We don't get any points, but who cares?
So I think, I know we're videoing, we need to write some of this down because obviously Steve does it this time. We need to think about what, that you've just suddenly realised if you didn't think about it beforehand. So, valuable
I'm just thinking,
information.
is it a good point to start with something we've got?
Yeah.
Play around with something I've got. Like the beauty of the stuff that you've got for this golf toy is the wheels are actually attached to it, aren't they? So you don't have to worry about, the compatibility.
So it's seen, we haven't got the recognition, we haven't got the infrared.
No.
We don't have the infrared until the day. They plug it in on the day.
Right, it does say that, yes.
It must
We
be
just have to have
pre-coded.
it
So
down
what
with a hose
so what
they can
have we got
put-
written down? What
slot it
topics
in
we need? We
with
need.
the antenna
No, that's
and
what
then
I'm
plug it
saying,
into the motherboard. They
Planning, we need to plan today.
So what are the topics we need to do? We've got locomotion. We've got actually picking up the cans and storing the cans.
Yeah.
We've got
Recognition.
recognition, and
I don't think the recognition part's going to be very hard.
but you've got to link that with the locomotion of moving and
We just got to
not crash.
Recognising, do you do it from the colours? Do you do it from where the wall ends?
Well, there's a
Recognising the
line
green?
there.
Okay.
But
But we're talking about it now. What we want to do is like actually have tasks now. Yeah, I know
it's
you're
going to be
saying.
probably more difficult than you think.
Yeah. So it needs to be able to be moved.
Yeah.
It needs to be able to be steered.
Yeah.
It needs to be able to pick up a can and then
Keep it.
keep hold of it and store it. So what I'm thinking is we need to have some piece of wood, attach some wheels and some motors.
Yep. Yep. And make something move up and down.
So we need we're trying to figure out the wheels in the base first. So
It's
what we've got tracks, we've got just wheels on either side, or we've got pivoted wheels.
Well, again, it's something you're going to have to try, aren't you? Because
Those
although
are
you
the
may
three
be
we
able
need
to
to build.
control it, you're not in a massive area you can go skirting round and steering.
So
Needs to be to this room, these would work and move back and that.
those are the three we need to build.
Yeah.
Little.
So I'm thinking we need to think about the shape of the actual chassis. I'm just saying about the chassis itself. Because I'm assuming when you look at that robot there, the chassis will be higher up than that, won't it? And it'll be covered over.
Well, again, it also mentions in here that you need to make the board accessible for inspection.
So yeah, because it's like kind of hinge, they can just lift it up and look inside.
I'm guessing that's what these are for.
But then again, the only thing that's going to be hitting you is the cans and other robots.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to be falling from above it, and it's not going to be getting
And
wet.
the walls, we could smash into the walls.
Yeah, so fendering, but you don't have to spend time making a body for it.
No. Well, in fact, the ones they were showing us that they weren't like that anyway. Some of them were.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I mean, there's a piece of wood,
Yeah,
screw some wheels on it, and see if we can get it to go.
so you can get it to
We've
go.
got a 12-volt battery. We haven't got a charger though. You know my little charger, do we need that?
They said they'd
Could we
supply
borrow
us
that
one
one?
when they gave us the motherboard.
But we need it now if we're going to start.
Well, the battery you've got is a normal car battery, is it?
It's this one here.
It's
No,
12
well,
volt
the cool
battery.
charger, but
It's just a 12 volt,
right.
so it'd be the same.
No bother. Well, if you like, I've got some 12-volt batteries.
yeah.
And when you flatten that, I'll charge it up, and Vicky can bring another charged battery to replace it.
Yeah.
But there's a fair bit of, what's the amp hourage on that? Well, it's 2 amp hours, so you've got a lot of power in there.
It kept saying to us like one thing you do is switch your robot off and check your batteries, is what it kept saying to us.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
can we possibly sit at home and charge that up then?
yeah. I think it will be charged, I would have
Well, I
thought.
said, do they come charged? I don't know.
It'll come with
Have
a
you
little
got
charge.
a multimeter?
Try it on that.
Yeah, I have.
Ooh.
I don't know what voltage is.
Be right.
We'll find out.
Find out how quickly that turns.
Slightly worryingly making a noise.
You all did so.
Bang!
No, at least it worked.
From a drill.
Put it on again.